let's start in child's pose. So, knees wide, big toes touch. Reach your arms forward. Forehead can come down to your mat. So we're right in the middle of the day here if you're live. But whatever time of the day it is for you when you're doing this practice, maybe take your forehead a little side to side, let your belly drop down between your thighs and start to tune into your breath. Become aware of where you're at. And that could mean, where are you right now mentally, physically, emotionally? Just bring awareness to that, and then know that if any issues come up for you, or like you've got this long to-do list, I want you to give yourself permission to take this hour-ish to focus on what's going on in your body and the quality of your breath. Everything else will work itself out over this next hour, and then you can come back to your to-do list. So just a couple more full rounds of breath here, inhaling and exhaling. Try and find complete stillness. And then big breath in through your nose. Fill up your back body, expand. And then exhale, sigh out your mouth. Root down into your finger pads. Pull yourself on up, tabletop. And then have your toes tucked. We'll just move here through cat-cow. And if you feel like you want different types of movement right now, you get to take that. So maybe you want some hip circles. You know, what is it that you need? Let the practice serve you. So while we're just moving our body, and while you are tapping into your breath, I'm just going to tell you what we'll do today. So work on opening up the hamstrings, some hip work, balance, strengthening. We're going to work up to bird of paradise pose, something I haven't been practicing for a while, but I'm jumping back in. So that's why a strap could be handy for you here. Come back to your neutral spine from wherever you're at. Take your time. And then gaze is down and forward. Left leg extends back, toes point down. Right arm reaches forward. So because we're going into bird of paradise, why not start with bird dog? So gaze is down, reach through the fingertips, kneecap faces down. Good, breathe, and then pick your belly up to your spine and draw your tailbone back to your lifted heel. One more inhale. And exhale, release. Good, switch sides. Right leg extends back. Let's build some heat in our core. Left arm extends forward, thumb faces up. Tailbone toward that lifted heel, no dumping into the low back. Steady breath. Good. Take the left hand down, right knee down, and then tucking toes, take your hips back so you're sitting on your heels. So starting with our foundation, our feet, you might separate your pinky toe away from the others. Heels face up. And then if this is just too intense right out the gate, take some weight off the feet. Bring your fingertips forward. And if you always do this, because it's an option, maybe give this pose a shot again if you haven't been in it a while. Kind of like I'm doing with bird. It's like I haven't done it for a while because I just got frustrated with the binds and everything. And then I was like, I can do this. I can work toward this again. So a few more rounds of breath here. Good. Find a lift through the crown of your head. You're sitting. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Root down through your hands again. Tabletop, untuck your toes, and then tap out the tops of the feet. The best part. Now sit back on your heels again. Your toes are untucked. You're stretching out your ankles. So to make this more intense, you might walk your hands back. Squeeze your thighs together. And maybe even lift your knees up a little bit. Breathe. So our feet do so much for us all day long. The least we can do is spend a minute or two here. Good, and then lower your knees down. Take your hands back to the top of the mat, and you're gonna step your right foot through your hands. Front knee is at 90 degrees. And then you're gonna spin your left shin so it's parallel with the back of your mat. This is where you might want a knee under the back knee. So this could feel pretty intense right now. Squaring front knee, left hand, left hip. It's like a baby side angle, we'll call it. The right fingertips can walk forward, or you might be up here if this is too much right now. And the left arm can sweep up, draw the gaze up, and then maybe take a half bind. So we want to start to open up through the shoulders for bird, hip flexors. Maybe find just a little movement. Keep spinning your chest up and breathe. Good. Now spin your shin back to where we started. So you're in a low lunge, back knee is down. Bring your hands up to your thigh, and then feel this nice stretch in the front of the left hip flexor. Can press down into the thigh. Draw your right hip back a little bit. Bring your hands down. Now straighten your front leg. Half splits. Let's get in to the hammies. Toes can face up. And then maybe point and flex the front foot. Draw the sternum toward your front foot. Good. Come back to your low lunge. And then right shin back. Step your left foot through your hands. Once again, back shin is going to be parallel with the short edge of your mat. And that you might want to walk your front foot forward here. Options, left hand outside or inside the front foot, or forearm up to the thigh. Peel your right shoulder blade toward your spine. Right arm can reach up. Gaze up or down. Good. Maybe you take that half bind. And then release, half splits. So shin comes back to normal or to starting position. Draw your sternum toward your front foot. Nice juicy hamstring opener. Good. Come back to your low lunge. And then I forgot, take hands up. So stretching the front of the right hip flexor. Just did things in a different order perhaps. Good. Hands come down, lift back knee, down dog. So if your heels are all the way down to your mat, walk your feet back a little bit. Have your heels a little lifted. Bend your knees. Tailbone lifts. Strong, straight arms. Couple rounds of breath. Maybe you shake your head. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees. Take the gaze to the top of your mat and then get there how you like. Hop, step, or many steps. Forward fold. Feet hips width distance. Hinge at your hips. Grab hold of opposite elbows. Sway a little side to side. Let the neck be soft. Relax your jaw. Good. And then fingertips down. Heel toe your feet as wide as your mat. Heels in, toes out, tailbone down, malasana. So if you have sensitive knees, you might be higher up. That's fine. We just want to start opening up through the groins and the hips. Rock a little back and forth. Good. Root your hands down. Bring your feet back to hips width distance. Little bend in the knees. And then walk your hands up your shins, up your thighs. Come all the way up to standing Tadasana. Root down into your feet. Check in with your breath. Head of the arm bones back. Bright, shiny chest. Take a moment to set an intention for your practice. Maybe it's to try something new, be adventurous, be open in mind and body, whatever it is you want to work on today, on and off your mat. Inhale, reach your arms up. Grab your left wrist with your right hand. Big breath in. And then sway to your right. Keep pressing your booty back. Big side stretch on the left side. And then inhale, come up. Exhale, switch the grip, sway to the left. So stay long in your body. Inhale, come up through center. Exhale, cactus the arms, lift the chin, lift the sternum. Press the tops of the thighs back. And then inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, hinge at your hips, fold. And then come to a halfway lift. So spine is long, or lift halfway, look forward. Keep your left fingertips down on your mat or perhaps a block. Right hand, right hip. Start to spin your torso to the right. Draw the right shoulder down away from your ear and take a half bind. Right fingertips come down. You're in your nice spinal extension. Left fingertips to the hip. And then keep that spine long as you peel up to the left. Gaze can be up or down. Left hand comes down. Heel toe feet together. Bend the knees, sink the hips back. Chair. Tailbone down a little bit. Tall spine, squeeze inner thighs together. Now take the hands together at the heart and keep sitting back. So we're just gonna work on shifting our weight to one foot, one leg and the other. So shift the weight to your left leg. Try to keep the bend in the knees and lift your right knee. Hug your belly in toward your spine. Use the glutes and the hammies here. And then step your right foot down. Weight goes into the right. Left knee lifts. Breathe. Flex the lifted foot. Good. Other side. One more each side. Left leg stays bent. Right knee lifts. Good. Right foot down. Left knee lifts. Breathe. So you might just Balance on the tippy toes. Balance changes every day. So work with what you got going on today. Sit back. Interlace the fingers behind the low back. Draw the arms together and apart at the same time. Shift your weight to your left side again. Lift your right knee. And then extend your right leg way back to a high crescent lunge. Square your front knee. Draw your knuckles down, open your heart. Straighten your back leg. Breathe. Find softness even in strength. Maybe your face can soften. Stay low in your legs. Step your right foot forward. Lift your left knee, other side. Left leg extends back. Crescent lunge with the bind. Right, you switch the grip, interlace the fingers the opposite way behind your low back. Straighten your front or back leg and breathe. Good, stay low in your legs. Step forward, keep the bind, straighten the legs, fold. Release the bind, let the hands come down. A little bend in the knees. Walk your hands all the way up your legs. Good. So before we get into more balance, let's just move with our breath a little bit, kind of rinse all that out. So 3 half sun A's. Inhale, reach the arms up. This is the part that's kind of the fusion part. Exhale, hinge at your hips, fold. Inhale, lift halfway, look forward. Exhale, fold. Use that full exhale. Little bend in the knees. Inhale, reach all the way up. Palms touch. And then forward fold. Hinge at hips. Exhale. Inhale. Lift halfway. Look forward. Long spine. Exhale, fold. Ground down into the feet. Inhale, rise. Let's do one more. Press your thighs back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift, extend the spine. Exhale, fold. Good, so if you have your strap right by you, go ahead and grab it. Little bend in the knees brings you all the way up. So shift the weight into your left foot and lift your right knee. So some of you may know already you don't need a strap. You can take your arm inside the front shin, take a big toe grip with peace fingers, or grab the outside of the foot. You're going to extend the leg forward and out. So go there if that's in your practice. I will do the strap with you just to show you. So I've got both hands on the strap surrounding the front foot. Firm the left leg, straighten the right leg. Collarbone square forward. Take both sides of the strap in the right hand and then open your leg to the right. Left sits bone draws toward the tailbone. Really strong legs. And then back of your hips kind of broaden and then squeeze in to the midline. So wherever you're at, you're staying, you're breathing, you're balancing. And then take the leg back to center and release. Feel the difference between the legs. Come back to your breath. All right, root down. So weight goes into the right leg, left knee lifts. You can take the arm inside the front shin, grab the big toe, and then lengthen the leg out or open it up. Or you take your strap, I'll come at a diagonal. Extend the leg. Take both sides of the strap into the left hand and then open to the right. So right leg is firm, right hip is not jutting out, squeezed into the midline. Left sits bone carves down to the right heel. My balance is real off today, so this should be fun. Couple more rounds of breath wherever you're at. Your gaze is focused on something not moving. And then take everything back through center and release. Shake out the legs. All right, so we're gonna do that one more time. This time I'm gonna try it without the strap. And that means I probably won't straighten my lifted leg all the way, but I just wanna get the feel of the weight shift and how far I can go, because that's probably what your bird will look like. So firm the right leg, lift the left knee, firm the left leg first, lift the right knee. Take yogi grip around the big toe. Left hand can be at left hip. Extend your right leg forward. Keep the spine tall. Square collarbones forward. Now as you're ready, open up the right leg. Right sits bone carves down to the left heel. Trying to square your hips and your shoulders to the top of your mat as much as you can. Find your breath. And then bend the knee on the extended leg. If it's not already bent, bring it back through center and release down. Other side, ground down into the right leg. Lift left knee. Grab inside. Firm right leg. Straighten left. So this is my tight side. I'm going to keep the knee bent, and that's okay. And I'm still going to open the leg. So I'll get there one day. That's why it's called a practice. Couple rounds of breath. Good, and then bend the knee, take everything back through center, and release. Come to the top of the mat, reground. Inhale, breath. Exhale, breath. Good, inhale, reach up. Exhale, hinge at hips, fold. Root the hands down, step to down dog. Straight, strong arms. Inhale, rock forward to plank and stay here. Round the upper back, press the earth away. Knees can be down. We just don't want you hammocking into the back. This is a no-no. So keep the hips lifted, tailbone toward the heels, breathe. Notice if you're cranking on your neck, gaze is down. One more inhale. Exhale, down dog. Step your right foot through your hands. Walk your hands to the left, the only way they really want to go, and walk them all the way to the back of your mat. So you've got warrior 2 feet here. Back foot parallel with the back of the mat. Now your front foot, your left one, the heel lines up with the back arch. Walk your hands off your mat at a diagonal. You have a down dog lunge. Take the booty back. Right thigh to the back plank. Walk your hands inside the front foot. Right hand, right hip. Left hand outside of your left foot. So now it's not such a baby side angle anymore. We're in the full expression. Gaze can be up or down. Trying to crinkle up your mat between your feet. Take your right hand to your top hip And then straighten the left leg. So left fingertips stay down. This back thigh still presses back. Good. Right arm reaches up. Gaze can be up or down. Press down into your big toe mounts. Try to lift your fourth and fifth toe, your little pinky. Good. Take your right fingertips down. Turn your left foot to the long edge of your mat. We're going to switch sides. So back foot parallel with the back of the mat. Right foot turns to 12 o'clock. Walk your hands forward off your mat, down dog lunge. Press your booty back. Soften your heart down. Relax your neck. Draw your front heel toward your back arch. Bend your front knee more than you think you can. And then walk your hands toward the right foot. Right hand outside, front foot, left hand, left hip. And then the left arm can reach up and over. Gaze up or down. Breath. Where can you soften? Good. Top hand, top hip. Straighten your front leg. Trikonasana, triangle. Right fingertips stay rooted. Left arm reaches up to the sky. Reach through the crown of the head. Gaze up or down. You choose. Good. And then take your left hand down. Spin the right foot to the long edge of your mat. You're going to straddle forward bend. And hinge up the hips, fold. Walk your hands through your legs. Root the hands firmly down. Bend the elbows. Draw the crown of your head down toward your mat. As if your legs will just kind of pop on up into a headstand. And if that's where you want to go with this, take it. Otherwise, shift to the balls of your feet a little bit. Keep bending your elbows. Use the strength of your triceps to draw down through the crown of the head and then lift the shoulders up a little bit. If you're upside down, you're slowly coming back. And then we'll all walk our hands forward so that we're in a nice long spine. Heel toe, feet toward one another for a malasana squat. Heels in, toes out. Hips are lifted, so don't forget about our core. We're not sinking down. All right, right arm is going to go in front of your right shin and outside your right foot. And your left arm will reach up to the sky. And then maybe take a half bind. So back of the forearm to the low back, or the top of the forearm. And then left arm comes up and switch. So left forearm in front of left shin, tailbone down, knees open, right arm reaches up. Maybe the right arm wraps around your low back. Spin your heart up. Good. Right arm reaches up and comes back down. Root the hands down. Booty lifts up. Heel, toe, feet back to hips with distance apart. Fold. Walk your hands all the way up your shins, up your thighs. And come to standing Tadasana. Step to the top of your mat. Root back down into your feet. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, hinge at hips, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step the left foot back. And then back heel, actually let's do this. So left heel stays lifted here. Right knee is bent. Heel toe your right foot out to the right side of your mat and take both hands inside your right foot, lizard. So some of you might come down to your forearms or a block. Others will stay up here. Keep your back knee lifted if possible. Peel your right hip back to the back of your mat. You can soften your neck, take the gaze down or back. Breathe. Slow, steady inhales and exhales. Ujjayi breath. Inhale, exhale through your nose. Notice if your mind wants you to come out of the pose or your body. The mind can be powerful, so if you're not in pain, choose to work through these big sensations. One more inhale. Stick out your tongue, lion. Walk your hands back up. Straddle, forward, bend. Toes face the long edge of your mat. And then bend your right knee, side lunge. Sit the booty back. Fingertips can be down, but scoop your heart forward and draw your belly up. You might bring your hands here. You might even go deeper into this. Booty sits back. Lift the arches of the feet. 2 more rounds of breath. Switch, straighten the leg. So we're going to take lizard to the back of our mat. Right heel lifts, left knee bends, heel toe the left foot out to the left side of your mat. Both hands come inside the foot. Go as deeply as you can. So the other side, I was like, I'm good. I'm going to come down to my forearms. That's rare for me. This side is tight, but I'm going to challenge it. I'm going to not stop where I usually do. I'm going to give it a shot. And here I am. Something I haven't done for a long time. So the mind can play tricks on us and tell us this is where we stop. We don't go any further here. But what if you did? What might happen? Keep your back knee lifted. Pelvis lifts a little bit. Breathe. Stay in your body. 2 more rounds of breath. 1 more inhale. Lion. Walk your hands back up. Good. Straighten that left leg. Toes face the long edge of your mat. Side lunge. Left knee bends. Booty draws way back. Feet are parallel to each other. Maybe walk your hands forward. Press booty back more, or hands to heart. You might go way deep into this, but I'm going to stay here. Lift the arches of the feet. Relax your face, soften your gaze. Inhale. Exhale, sit low. And bring your hands down. Straddle, forward bend. Let's move the torso a little bit. So just visualize like you're finger painting on your mat. Freedom in our body. All right. So heel toe feet back toward one another. Malasana, and then we'll add on. So I'm going to come to a diagonal here. Tailbone down. So this time we'll work toward the pose and we'll take a couple steps to get there. So you will take your left arm underneath your left thigh. And your right arm will come into a half bind or perhaps a full bind, or that's when you have your handy strap or towel to help you connect here. So let's first prep for the pose. We're in our malasana. We've got whatever bind we can manage right now. And start to straighten the legs. So both feet are rooted down. Legs are as straight as possible. Relax your neck. And then spin your heart up to the right. Gaze up to the right. Try to straighten your legs. Take the gaze down. Let's work on the weight shift. So shift the weight to the right foot. Bend your right knee. It's like that chair we started with. And then maybe your right leg's so strong that your left foot starts to lift. Maybe not. Good. And then let that go. Slowly unravel. Forward fold. Let's try the other side. So come back to your malasana. This time, right arm underneath right thigh. And your right hand tries to find your right butt cheek or the right side back. All right, left arm reaches up. Half bind or full bind. Hands connect or they don't. Use your strap. And then try to straighten your legs. Good, so legs are straight. Shoulder blades draw together. Collarbones are wide. Peel your gaze up. Left side chest up. And try to straighten your legs. Take your gaze down. Shift the weight to your left foot. Bend your left knee deeply and play with the right leg lifting. Maybe today you're just visualizing it. Bend the left knee, use the glutes, maybe halfway up. And let it go. Forward fold. Hands to shins. Walk them all the way up. So we'll try that again, but let's just come up for a minute. Or down into your feet. Inhale, reach your arms up. Grab your right wrist with your left hand. Big breath in. And sway to the left. Come back through center. Grab the left wrist. Sway to the right. Come back through center. Cactusy arms. Lift chest and sternum. Press thighs back. Good. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hinge at hips, fold. Okay, here we go. Grand finale on this pose, and then we get to come down. So, heel toe feet apart. Tailbone down. So by now you probably know if you need a strap. You may just need it on the second side, of course. So here we go. Left arm underneath left thigh. Right hand connects to left or not. Grab your strap, tailbone down. Now lift your tailbone. Bend your right knee deeply and maybe even take the left foot a little bit closer to your right. Got the grip of the hands. You're not using your arms and your chest to lift. You're using your legs and your core. So root down into your right foot, squeeze the right glutes. And that's what will lift the leg on the left side. Now, if your spine is rounding and your chest is forward like mine, I'm not quite open enough for the pose, so I'm gonna come up. Take the left knee, left shin, open up here, or tree is an option. If you're in bird, you're totally working it. Left sits bone, carves down to right heel. Try to square the hips forward and your shoulders. Lift your heart, breathe. And wherever you're at, slowly unwind and come down. Other side, Malasana. Right arm wraps underneath the thigh. Left hand connects to right. Lift tailbone, straighten the legs, just like we did before. Come up on the ball of the right foot. Ground down into all four corners of the left. Bend your left knee deeply, engage your glutes. Root down to rise, lift. Maybe the bind is happening, maybe not. Another thing you can try if your balance is on point, bending the left knee a little bit, press the left thigh back, and then maybe that can open up more freedom for you. You can also be here or tree. So wherever you're at, you're breathing, you're focusing. If you come out of the pose, you just come right back into it. 2 more rounds of breath. Slowly come back down. Oh, and release. Really great work. Inhale, lift halfway. Lengthen spine. Exhale, down dog. Right knee, right wrist. Pigeon, slide your left leg back. You can keep the toes tucked on your back side. And then before we come down, walk your hands over to the left. Keep your right hip lifted and draw it back. Maybe come down to your forearms. Big stretch on the right side body. Maybe even really feel it into the outer right hip. T-band. Drop your gaze, breathe. Good. Now walk your hands over to the other side, to the right side. Really stretch out the front of the left hip flexor. Keep your right hip lifted. Forearms can come down. Maybe look to the back of your mat. And come back to center. And then walk the hands forward. Forearms or head to a block or elbows down, fingertips down. Forehead down and breath. Walk your hands back up toward your body. Keep your right fingertips down on your mat in front of your right knee. Bend your left knee. And perhaps reach for the foot with the left hand. So we want to stretch out the front of the delt here. So kick in, maybe even take your right hand more in the middle of your mat. Kick into the back hand as you pull the foot toward your body. Feel the active stretch in the front of the left shoulder. Big stretch for the quads. Did a ton of work. Option to take your gaze back. Some of you may be really flexible here because we've done a ton of work. I think it's called mermaid pose, where you wrap your foot into your left elbow pit. Your right arm reaches up, and then you take hold of the foot with the right hand. Be my guest if that is for you. Hips stay lifted during that the whole time. And release. Sit off to your right hip. Swing your left leg around. Root your left foot down outside your right thigh. You're on the top of your right foot. Both sits bones root down. You can always take this right leg straight. Knee pulls into chest. Right arm wraps around the front shin. Tall spine. You can grab your right side belly and help twist it to the left. Gaze goes back. Now roll the chin down toward your chest. And take your left ear to your left shoulder. Chin down to chest, right ear, right shoulder. Good. Unwind. Downward facing dog. Find stillness. Notice the difference between the sides. Left knee, left wrist. Right leg scoots back, tuck toes. So before we go anywhere, walk your hands to the right, off of your mat. Perhaps come down to your forearms. Keep your left hip lifted. Hug your left hip back. Good, and then walk your hands over to the other side. Feeling a stretch on the right side body, front of the right hip flexor. Breathe. Walk your hands forward and melt down. Forehead down, forearms down. So typically we have like a mid-class break, little shavasana. Today we'll just skip that. This will be kind of that point where we start to bring the energy down. And then walk your hands back toward your body. Bend your back knee. Left fingertips plant down. Right hand reaches for the back foot. Maybe it grabs hold, maybe it doesn't. You do have your strap. Lift your left hip. Kick into the hand as the hand pulls into the foot. Gaze goes back. If you want to attempt mermaid, you're going to try to catch the foot in the right elbow crease. Make sure you come up vertical. Left arm reaches up, bends, and also reaches for the foot. Slowly unwind. Sit off onto the left hip. Right leg swings over, right foot roots down. Heavy in both sits bones. Tall spine, inhale. Exhale, left arm wraps around the front shin. And then we twist from core, from back body versus limbs. Root down heavily into your right sits bone. Take your chin down to your chest. Right ear, right shoulder. Chin down to chest, left ear, left shoulder. Walk your right fingertips away from your body. And bring the head back up. Unwind. Take your legs out long in front of you. So come on down to your back. Draw your knees in toward your chest. And let's take a couple back bends to just stabilize all that work we did with the legs. Bring your feet down. Sits bones forward. You should be able to say hi to me with your fingertips. Your arm can slide underneath your low back. Extend your arms long at your sides. Shimmy tailbones together. Root down into your feet. Lift your hips. Interlace fingers behind your low back. Lift your chin up away from your chest a little bit. Gentle pressure down the back of your head. Shift your knees forward. Draw your heels toward your head. Feel expansion and space from your toes all the way up through the crown of your head. Soften your glutes a little bit. And then release the bind. Bring your hips back down. So you choose one more bridge or wheel. Plant the hands. You'll certainly be open enough through the chest. You come to the crown of the head first. Firm legs. Shoulders draw into socket. And then everything straightens. Arms and legs press up. Otherwise, second round of bridge. Maybe you grab for the ankles on this one. Lift your pelvis higher. Soften your glutes a little bit. If you're in wheel, one more final breath. Take in oxygen where you can, and then draw your chin to your chest. Slowly come down. Bridge wherever you're at. Make your way back down. Knees come into chest. And then take your knees over to your left for a twist. Gaze to the right. Cactusy arms. You take them out like a letter T. Close your eyes. Knees come back through center. Over to the other side. Switch the gaze. Knees back through center. Happy baby. Knees to the armpits. Soles of the feet to the sky. Maybe you practice straightening one leg. Roll all the way to the side. Just be a happy baby. Embody your essence, your innocence. Bring your feet down to the mat. Sits bones shift forward. You got that space in the low back. Soles of feet together, knees open. Supta Baddha Konasana. One hand to heart, one hand to belly. Ground. Down. Surrender. Exhale out all your breath. And taking the biggest inhale you've taken all day, all week. Fill up the lungs. Hold the breath at the top. Exhale, release. Soften, surrender. Trust that the earth is holding you here. Choose to stay here for the rest of your practice, or Shavasana. Extend the legs long. Reach the arms long out wide. Give yourself enough space in your Shavasana that your ribs can expand as you breathe. Maybe reach your arms up overhead. So you've carved this time out for yourself. Stay for the Shavasana. You've got the time. See where you're holding on to tension. Send the breath there for healing. Come back to the moment. Deepen your breath. And move and wiggle fingers and toes. Reach arms up and overhead, full body stretch. Get long from fingertips to toes. Empty out all your breath once more. Receive the deepest inhale your body, your lungs can take in. Hold the breath and release. Draw your knees into your chest. Roll off to one side, doesn't matter which one. And press yourself up to a seat. Eyes remain closed. Of course, if you're still in your Shavasana, please stay. Enjoy. Once you're in your seat, fold your palms together in front of your heart. Eyes are closed. Take a moment. Notice how you feel now compared to when you stepped on your mat. Know that you can take those little steps along the way to accomplish something that you may not think is reachable, or that you may not have visited in a long time, whether on or off your mat. Perhaps give it another go. Flexible in mind and body as you leave your mat today. Namaste.